Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency meeting. Today is Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. It's 4:02 p.m. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meeting Act rules are on the north wall of the agency boardroom. In attendance today, we have the mayor of Gretna, Mike Evans, the mayor of Bellevue, Rusty Hike, the mayor of Papillion, David Black. I'm Don Kelly. I represent Sarpy County. We also have our agency engineer here, Jeff Thompson. We have our agency treasurer, Phil Green from the city of Papillion. Jeff is one of our very few agency employees, so I really can't call him. He doesn't really belong to anybody but the agency, right?
He's 50% of our staff.
Yeah, that's true. And then Lisa Hare is our agency secretary, and Dan Hoynes serves as our agency administrator. If you would, silence your cell phones, and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get into the staff comments, would any of the agency board members like to have any comments today? Okay, we'll get right in with our agency administrator, Dan Hoynes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and member mayors. I did just get a notification from Mayor Kindig. He had a work emergency, so he apologized that he won't be able to make it today. Okay. So there's that. So I was visiting with Mayor Black that it seems like a long time ago that we last met, December 8th, I think. And to have such a short agenda, and I gave him the metaphor of the duck in water. There's sure a lot going on, and most of it surrounds, and I'll limit my comments to the pending legislation, LB 769, which is Tim Gay has been helping us on to help us fund the shortfall for the agency. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but as you should be aware, our hearing got elevated. It's next Wednesday. Had already been in the process of working with your administrators and Tim Gay to identify the best way to deliver our message. It's been assigned to the Natural Resource Committee, again, Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. And again, working with your admins, the current plan is to certainly have Chairman Kelly and Mayor Black be testifiers. We're finalizing testimony from some chambers and some Gross RP, some other support letters, trying to get as many of those, trying to strike the balance between more isn't always better, but better is better. There are only 2 hearings that afternoon, and so I don't know what the appetite will be for protracted discussion, but we will certainly be there. We will be ready to answer the questions, and we'll have the material. Continue to put those together to, again, working with Tim in particular and the county comm folks who take Word documents and make them look really nice. You should have something in your email here shortly, but at the sake of rambling too much, I just assure you that we're going to be ready. We'll have a good case, and that we are also still working on a presentation for potential meeting with the governor. We're trying not to slow that down. We want to go full court press here, full time. So I guess I would have a favor to ask anything that any of you see. You're the elected officials. We aren't. You see a message coming through, please get it to us, and we'll try, and you're going to see things that we won't in there, and you won't offend us by, telling us to include something or add something or remove something. More important to get it right than be right in this particular instance as an individual. So we do, specific to the budget today, Treasurer Green has the budget amendment, and he'll address those specific things, but I think they're all pretty straightforward, and we'll move forward and hope for the best next Wednesday and over the next couple of weeks, maybe months, to close that funding gap. That concludes my comments, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Jeff, agency engineer.
Chairman Kelly, agency member mayors, Jeff Thompson, project engineer for the agency. Just real quick update on construction. Things continue to progress very well. I don't know if we can get the slides.
They'll do that. They'll do it. There you go.
The crew down in Springfield are working their way north from the equalization basin, making pretty decent progress there. They ran into some very wet conditions, or continue to run into wet conditions down there, but continue to proceed. I'd say they're roughly 2/3 to 3/4 of the way complete with that project. They've got a crew working through the fairgrounds to the south, and just about ready to conjoin with the other two crews working to the south there. So this is just an aerial photo as you're standing at the equalization basin on the far south end of the project, down by the wastewater treatment plant in Springfield, looking north. And then this next photograph is pretty much standing on the north looking south. That's the Wild Willie's fireworks building there. You can kind of see the progress as they're working from the south to the north there. And then this is the layout of the pipe as they're continuing to work north. And then this is the area through the fairgrounds. You see the county fairgrounds kind of in the background here on the north side of the photograph. But the fence line here just to the south is the tractor pull area in Springfield's fairground area, and they're getting pretty close to getting back into that area and making some more progress there. So jumping into the Zweibel Creek interceptor system, the yellow bubble that I have highlighted here, we've got crews working at the lift station, making very good progress there. They've got the base and the walls of that system poured. They're actually starting to form for the lid on that structure now, and they've got, I'd say, roughly about 2/3 of the pipe laid through the area from 72nd Street all the way down to roughly this private driveway here. Just a few pictures kind of showing this is guardrail on the south end of the picture here, or excuse me, the west end of the picture here is the guardrail at 72nd Street looking north. These pictures are a little dated. All this pipe's been put in, and they're actually setting the manhole on the west side of 72nd Street today. Hopefully get that done here this week. This was the formwork that was up when they were getting ready to pour the walls for the lift station. And then this is them actually pouring the walls a few weeks ago. They just got to the point where we could get the form stripped, and they're actually starting to backfill that structure up to the point where they can start installing the inlet and outlet pipes and some of the other systems that are involved there. Segment 3 work is everything from 63rd Street along Platteview Road down to 27th Street. Hymus is the subcontractor working on that. They've got about 16,000 feet of pipe fused, 8,000 foot of the entire run, which is a little over half of the actual pipe that they need to complete the installation of that. They haven't started formally digging for all that fused pipe yet, but they're still working on the boring crossings at several of the locations that jump back and forth across Platteview Road, as well as some of the other north-south streets. This is a picture down towards 27th Street. You can see a lot of the linear pipe that they're laying out there. And then this is down at 36th Street, just on the east side of 36th Street. They're just fusing pipe and getting everything all laid out so they can get that pulled through that intersection and then continue to go east. They also have the transition structure poured. The walls have been poured. This, again, is a little outdated, but the forms have been stripped off of that structure. They're working on forming the walls for the connection structures for Bellevue. Structure A, the base is poured, as well as the base for B and C on segment 4. So they continue to progress very well. Very happy with the progress on that with the Hymus subcontractor. And then segment 4 is the Van Kirk work. They're working from 27th Street all the way to the Omaha treatment plant facility. They've got about 2,000 foot of pipe actually installed in the ground, but they have about 15,000 foot of pipe actually fused. This is a little longer run than what the Hymus crew's doing, so they're roughly about a third of the way fused with pipe, but have have a lot of crew out on site doing a lot of different work here. And then they're also getting the water wells in for dewatering down at the area at La Platte Road and Harlan Lewis Road for that D structure that Bellevue will ultimately connect into there. So it's a picture just to the east of 27th Street. You can see all the pipe that they've got laid out along Platteview Road all the way down to Hidden Valley. This is actually the installation of the pipe that they started at 27th Street heading east. So we're actually starting to see some pipe in the ground there. See the 2 trenches that they're working with and laying that.
How deep is that, Jeff?
They're roughly 5 foot of cover is about the extent until we get to some of the creek
So
crossings.
they put it below the frost
below the
line.
frost line. Yep. 4 foot is usually 48 inches, 42 inches is roughly frost line. So we're trying to get down with at least 5 foot of cover there. So. Again, the base at Structure C, and then here's the dewatering well operations down at Structure D. It's a pretty elaborate system. I think they got 13 or 14 wells down there to get that dewatered to the point where they can actually get the base of that structure poured as well as get the pipe in the ground there. So pretty wet and low down in there. This is La Platte Road on the right side of the photograph here. Highway 34 is kind of in the background. With that, I'd answer any questions you might have.
So is that ground dark because of the water table, or?
They're stripping it right now. It's just full of a lot of organics. It's farm aggregate ground, so it's got a lot of organics in it and full of a lot of nutrients. So,
Okay,
any other questions?
nice pictures, thanks.
Yep, you bet.
Okay, Adam Charlson, Agency Legal Counsel.
Thank you, Chairman Kelly. We're just, Jeff and I were just talking before, we're kind of almost seeing the light in the tunnel on the land rights pieces. Working from the east to west, we have, starting at segment 4 all the way to the east. I know it's backwards, we talked about that before, Mayor. But segments 1 and 2, we're knocking those out, and it looks like we're making pretty good progress there. So I don't want to put a date on it, but next several months we'll probably have those finished up, and then square away on the funding. We'll be in a good place. Other than land rights efforts and supporting Jeff and Dan and the team on the WIFIA side, the application process has started, and we'll be helping the folks at EPA, working with them on that, as well as the agency team there. I've had a few growth management plan questions and rate and connection fee questions, and then we all hands on deck on LB 769. Any questions for me?
Are you gonna be in Lincoln on Tuesday?
I was going to ask Dan if you want me to.
Wednesday, yes.
Okay.
It's Wednesday?
Yes, and I'm going to set up a meeting on, or have Lisa try to set up a meeting on Monday for all the people that will be there and potentially testifying. We'll invite all the mayors, certainly to the meeting Monday, but strategy meeting on Monday to finalize the testimony, the order, make sure that we're all ready. And so, yes, I think it's critical to have Adam.
Wednesday, 1:30.
Yeah, I was thinking Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
Because I told you Tuesday originally.
That's okay. I was hoping it was Tuesday, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm sorry, boss.
We got a board meeting on Tuesday. Okay, well, great. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a pretty short agenda today. We only have really 2 items to discuss, possibly 3, but the first one is the consent agenda. There's 2 items on there. Would any of the agency members like to see that moved to the regular agenda for discussion? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda as published.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Papillion and a second by Bellevue. Any further comments or questions? Please vote.
Yeas 4, absent La Vista and Springfield.
Okay, on the regular agenda, 1 item today, it's Resolution 2023-001, approving the first amendment to the Sarpy County and Cities Wastewater Agency fiscal year 22-23 budget. Phil Green, Agency Treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, mayors, Hello, and this is the first amendment, budget amendment for this particular fiscal year. Historically, we've usually done some kind of budget amendment roughly in the springtime. We moved it forward a little bit this year for a couple different reasons. Primarily, as you know, the whole reason why we're seeking the additional funds is because of the increased costs once the actual cost came in from Hawkins Construction. So that gets reflected obviously in the budget. Plus, we've had several things over the last few months with some special contractors and some contracts that we've taken out. And so all of that needs to be reflected on the budget going forward. So as you look at the budget in the revenue side, there's primarily three lines that really were adjusted. The primary one is the construction loan itself. We're pretty much an organization right now that whatever we're spending, we need to bring in through some kind of revenue, and most of it's through the loans. And so we've increased the amount of the construction loan $11 million this particular year. That still leaves us with about $10 million of our state loan that we've got. It's going to be next year where we really need to have that additional funding in place. The other two lines on the revenue side that you see increased would be the connection fees. Back when we put this budget together in March and April of this year, we didn't have any real assurances on what developments were going to be coming. Since that time, we've had a few that we know have moved forward with their platting, and so we're anticipating a little over $2 million more in connection fees this year, and then the $7 million in the ARPA funds that the county was gracious to give us. And just a little side note, we have made our first request on that. In fact, it's about 90% of the $7 million, and hopefully in the next week or two, we'll be able to draw that money down. Then on the expense side, again, the vast majority of it is in the project cost area, which is the 60100, and several of those line items there. But you'll also notice some monies being budgeted then for line item 60070, which we titled Other Professional Services. And those are the other contracts that you have agreed to over the last few months, the Hunden Economic Impact Study, the Scapande for the website and marketing, and then the Catalyst Public Affairs contract. And so all of those are reflected there. Other than that, there really weren't a lot of budgetary changes. At the very last page, we did remove the $24,000 for the year that was going to be a reimbursement to the Secretary and Treasurer for their organizations doing that. Because of hiring CFO Systems, that has really relieved me a lot. And just to let you know, they've been doing a great job of kind of getting onboarded. This is the first month that they're taking care of all the checks and doing payroll. So Jeff, if you don't get paid, it's not really my fault. But no, we'll make sure that works well this year. And then what you'll see at the very bottom line is there is a slight reduction in what we anticipate to be cash on hand at the end of the year of about $500,000. But that's really because of not all of our expenses are reimbursable through those loans. And so some of them are really dependent upon the income that we get in. Obviously, if we see a little bit more connection fee money than what's even anticipated here, then that bank balance at the end of the year should even be higher. So I'll take any questions that you might have.
So CFO Systems is going to be doing the checks?
They are. He's got them right back there. So.
Well, I just, yeah, when checks pop up that have to be signed in between meetings, we'll have to work out a plan to do that.
Correct. And they'll be just as responsive as I think Hayes and Associates were.
Okay.
Because we still have to coordinate with them to get them all printed. So.
All right, great. Thank you. Any questions?
So, Bill, one clarification. You didn't mention it, but I believe there's also an amendment to the Ernst Young contract and an increase in that?
Correct. Yeah, I did budget. There's an additional $100,000 that's in there anticipating a budget or a contract amendment that you'll be bringing.
Correct. And we've had to depend a lot on those folks. Again, I think it was July 19th or so when we really zoned in on the shortfall, and they've done a lot of work for us we didn't anticipate in April in terms of analyzing WIFIA loans, helping us with the submissions, looking at the pro forma assumptions at various levels. So I don't think we'll use the whole thing, but.
Yep, it's in there in case we need it.
Thank you, Phil.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the First Amendment to the budget.
Second.
Motion by Sarpy, second by Papillion. Any further discussion? Well, just appreciate all your work on this. This is your like last meeting then, or?
No. He's all, we had an assurance we hired CFO, he's going to be able to stay on. Is that right, Mayor Black?
I can just go home at night and do things my wife does.
That's all right, okay. Please vote.
Yeas 4, absent La Vista and Springfield. Motion carried.
Okay, our next meeting is going to be on February 22nd, 2023. And all the agenda items having been addressed as published, the Sarpy County and Cities Wastewater Agency Board is adjourned until February.